watching HSN, and this is our segment that's provided to us by HGTV. My name is Marlo Smith. This happens to be Martin Amato, who happens to be a lifestyle expert and an interior designer, and brings to us a lot of the terrific products here. We are going to dive into, I think, one of the top-rated outdoor tools on our website. It has 76 reviews on our website. It is a customer pick. Out of the 76 reviews, over 60 of them are perfect 5-star reviews. This is an electric tiller. I know that you're anxious to get into it. Tell me why you love this. We talked before the show.
Absolutely.
And you told me that you enjoy doing some landscaping and a little bit of gardening.
Right.
But that you personally had never used a tiller, but said now you really get why this has such excellent reviews on our website.
Absolutely. Again, go to hsn.com, look at the reviews, and again, the customer comments say it all. You know, before, for me, it's all about curb appeal. You know, I love having a beautiful landscape in the front yard. I love planting flowers in my planting bed. And typically when I used to do that, guys, I would basically use a shovel and a pick. You know, the typical gardening tools.
Right.
Now, this is back-breaking work. I mean, to dig up every single hole, to basically aerate the soil. What I want you to do at home is I want you to step on the soil. If your soil basically feels like concrete, like cement, like your foot does not sink inside, that is not a good planting bed for your plants, because at that point the plants are going to be able to grow.
Right.
The roots aren't going to be able to grow. And that's where the tiller comes in. If you've never used a tiller before, I promise you this will become your new best friend in the garden, because it's going to soften up the soil. It has 4 rotating blades at the very bottom. Aerate the soil at the same time. And what that's going to do, Marlo, is it's going to add a lot of it's going to let the soil basically breathe. So at that point, you're softening up the soil, you're cultivating it, and then once you plant the plants, the roots are going to be able to expand and grow. There's nothing worse than going to a lawn or a garden center, buying beautiful plants, planting them, and then basically in a week or so, they're going to die.
Right.
And you have to really prep everything. Like in design, like in decorating, you have to prime the walls, you have to clean everything first. The same thing with gardening. You have to cultivate the soil using a tiller, and then at that point, go ahead and proceed with the landscaping and planting of the plants.
And some of you live in areas where you have really hard packed dry earth.
Absolutely.
It's like hard as a brick.
Yep.
And one of the comments on our website, someone said that they lived in an area where they had hard packed dry earth, and this made it like butter.
Yeah.
One of the other comments that I read on our website was from a woman who said that she was telling her husband about the electric tiller here at HSN, and he balked at it, and he's like, oh, you don't need to buy that. That's not going to work. Great. And she got it anyway. And he felt like it was the best tool that he'd ever purchased. One of the great things that I love about the comments on our website, almost everyone talks about how this exceeded their expectations. So if it's something that you'd love to have, I couldn't encourage you enough to go on and buy it. You can buy it online, or you can call our toll-free 800 number. We're offering it with free shipping for this visit, for this airing, and the 4 flexible payments is for this show only. And I love that, because for $34.99, it gives you a chance to be able to just get this at home, try it out, see if you love it. It's going to plow through that hard, dry earth that you may have. Mm-hmm. It's more lightweight.
Absolutely.
It's cost efficient, right? Because you don't have to buy gas.
Well, I was going to say, this is a brand that we all recognize and know here from HSN. It's Earthwise. Now, this is a company, a family-owned business that has been around for over 100 years. So as Marlo just said, we don't need gas. We don't have to use a pull cord. We don't have to prime anything. We just basically need an extension cord. We plug it into an electrical outlet, and we are good to go. Super lightweight. It has a width of 11 inches and a depth of 8.5 inches. So it's really going to, you know, dig up that hole as deep as you want it, at least 8.5 inches. And even the tires in the back, Marlo, can actually go up. So if you want to use your body weight at that point and apply a little bit more leverage, you can dig a deeper hole. But what I love about it is that it makes the prepping of the soil so much quicker and easier. So at that point, I can go ahead and buy my annuals, I can buy my perennials, and I can go directly to planting. Basically, in the past, you know, what I used to do is I would literally dig up every single hole.
You're doing so much work, right?
Absolutely.
Elbow work, a lot of back work.
Back work, I would sweat, I would get blisters in my hands, even if I use, you know, obviously gloves. But at this point, everything is completely thought out by Earthwise. We have the padded, ergonomically designed handle, super lightweight here. So, for example, if you have like a raised planting bed at home, whether it's the vegetable garden, whether it's an herb garden, and just any type of garden, the handle makes it super easy to lift. So, you know, all the women that are watching out there, this is really, really a great tool for you to use. And I know your husbands are going to love it as well. And they're probably, like the review said, they're going to be taking it away from you too. You guys are going to fight to see who's going to do the landscaping first or the gardening, which is actually a great problem to have, I would say, right?
No, it's true. Some of the things that people said on the website, they love how lightweight it is. I know we mentioned that. This weighs about 23 pounds, a little over 23 pounds. Also, one of the comments that was made over and over again on the website was that people were actually very, very surprised at how powerful it was.
Absolutely.
So I guess when you think, you know, you think gas, you think power, but think electric and also think power, because I saw that as a consistent theme when I was going through the comments on our website, that people were like very delighted and surprised how powerful it was. They talked about how it weighs half than some of the other gas tillers that are out there. Easy assembly. A lot of people commented about that. What's not to love about it? Most people said they wish they had purchased it sooner. So as an expert here at HSN, I am highly recommending this to you. When you can get on a website 5-star reviews, there are 76 reviews, and more than 60 of them have a perfect score. Like, people didn't find a thing, and you know, all of us, most of us are picky about something. We can find something wrong with even perfection.
But, yeah.
Here's a way for you to be able to get out there, make the job easier. And I love the point that you made, Martin. We spent all this time picking out the most beautiful flowers. This is really going to propel you to great success.
Well, the truth of the matter is, you know that they absolutely love it, all the customers on hsn.com, only because one thing is buying it and getting it at home and using it. Another thing is actually going online, logging on, and taking the time to write the review. So when a customer actually does that, you know that they really love the product and they back it 100%, and they want you to try it as well. So again, the fact that we just added, you know, a little bit of fertilizer, we added a little bit of peat moss, and we used the tiller to basically mix all that in, almost like a good blender.
Yeah.
We are preparing the soil.
That's a great way to describe it.
It's like a big blender, you know? At that point, imagine if you're beating eggs. You know, you have a big bowl, you beat the eggs, and you're doing it by hand. It's going to take you forever even to get that beautiful whipped cream, right? So wouldn't you rather use a blender?
Sure.
This is basically like a blender for your landscaping. I want to talk about the on and off switch right here, because you basically depress it once, and then you press back on the lever, and then at that point it releases. So that's a great safety feature as well, Marlo, that I want to talk about and obviously highlight. But the fact that you can cultivate the soil, you can aerate it, and at that point, once it's soft and loose like this, you almost want it to be like sand, you know, like sand that basically runs through your fingers. You don't want it to be like full of rocks or just very hard and compact, because at that point the roots are not going to be able to grow. And I think the alternative is, if you go to a lawn or garden center and you have a big planting bed to do, renting equipment like this is a lot of money for a one-time use. They charge you by the hour. You have to basically put it in your car, then take it back. If it's a rainy day, forget about that. You lost the money already. It's dirty. You don't want to dirty up your car. At that point, you do the investment once, and you basically use it over and over whenever you need it at your convenience.
Remember, it offers the power of a gas tiller without the mess. You don't have the cost of a traditional gas tiller, and you don't have the fumes of a traditional gas tiller. No benching pull starts. You can see that you can hear the noise, but it's not as loud as some of the traditional designs that are out there. Right. But for me, it's about being lightweight. It's about being powerful. In some areas, you know, the earth is just tacky. In some areas, the earth is just hard. Right. There's brick. It feels like a brick. It's so hard. And this is going to get out there and allow you to be able to aerate it, turns it like butter, giving you an opportunity to be able to buy your beautiful flowers. I love that you mentioned that a little bit earlier, so that you can get the types of results that you have always desired.
Well, a good example is, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if you basically, and I think I'm going to show you an example here. Basically, if you go to a lawn and garden center and you buy just like the pack of annuals, typically what's going to happen is you're going to see the roots growing up the sides. And that's because it's basically in a plastic container, and the roots don't have any place to grow and expand and actually, you know, make the plant healthier. It's the same thing with your soil. If you have not taken the time to cultivate it and aerate it, and you only do like one little spot, at that point it's going to look good for maybe, you know, a week or so. but it's going to start dying because the roots are not going to be able to grow. So you really have to apply that same sort of philosophy to your complete soil and invest in a tiller like this one to do the job. And you talked about a gas-powered one. If we were to have a conversation with the gas-powered one, we would literally have to shut it off. At that point, when we want to start it back on, we have to, like, you know, put our foot on it.
Oh, gosh,
we have to crank that thing.
That's too much work already.
It never works for me. At this point, again, I just depress the security switch right here. I press back on the lever, and it starts again. That's the beauty of it. And again, the handle, you can maneuver it anywhere exactly where you want it. If you already have some plants already planted, you don't want to go ahead and disturb them. Even if you have weeds, a lot of times just de-weeding alone, I hate it. It's just another step that I don't want to deal with. You can actually use the tiller to get rid of the weeds and incorporate the weeds at that point into the soil itself. So again, just eliminates another step so you can go to the part that for me is the most gratifying, and that's the planting, because that's when you see the results already there.
You're right.
And then you can mulch and you can look back and say, wow, I did this. This is my home, and you can feel proud of it.
Well, here's what I'd love for you to do. I want you to know that this is going to be the only airing today that we're presenting it on 4 flexible payments. And that makes such a big difference because it makes it risk-free shopping. It gives you a way to be able to have that beautiful curb appeal in your lawn. And it also makes the job easier. You know, we've talked about the traditional gas, the cost, the fumes, the noise that's involved, the pulling that you would have. This is electric. You plug it in and you go for it. And consistently throughout the reviews in our website, people spoke about how lightweight it is, and I want to remind you that it weighs a little over 23 pounds. But almost everyone spoke about how it exceeded their expectation because they were really surprised with just how powerful it is. If you want one, allow us to send it to you. I'm certain that you will be pleased. When you talk about outdoor tools, you know, like I said, it's hard to get, for everybody to agree on something. And when you look at over 76 reviews and over 60 of them being perfected, that speaks volumes to the quality of this product. I was thrilled to present it to you. When talking to Martin a little bit earlier, we kind of went over the benefits, and I know he's done an amazing job of doing that today. But you want to aerate that hard-packed earth that you may have. Make the job easier. Come on in at $34.99 for this hour only and grab it. It'll make a big difference. We've got 2 minutes on the clock, but you'll notice right away when you get this at home in another week.
I promise you, if you've never used a tiller and you always basically resort to the shovel or to the rakes,
we've got it here.
You know, I can guarantee you.
Imagine how much more work it is. I mean, but we've all done it, haven't we?
You are going to be so happy.
You know, you're out there, and I've seen people out there, and they're just hitting it. Trying to break up that earth, you know?
Absolutely. You know, we talk about this almost being like, you know, regular TV, and this becomes almost like HD. Again, why would you want to do so much work?
Are you old enough to remember the old washboards?
I've seen it in the movies.
I'm old enough to remember, oh my gosh, Martin. But I remember the old washboard, right? And the aluminum tubs. This is like the old washboard compared to, you know, an electric washer and dryer.
Absolutely.
You know? So
absolutely.
It's totally elevating, totally making the job easier, get it done a lot faster.
I love how my mom says, hey, I'm washing the clothes. And I'm like, really? Isn't it the machine that's washing the clothes? You make it sound like you're going to the river and using that washboard, right? But, you know, when you have the right tools to do the landscaping and the gardening, it just makes the task so much easier because it's cutting away, and it's cutting so many steps.
Sure.
And it's cutting so much of that hard work off. You're not out there sweating so much. For me, it's about the instant results.
And not everybody has the strength to get out there. You know, it's not as backbreaking.
If we were all genies and we could just basically cross our arms and blink our eyes, you know, like that famous show, and everything would be done like this, absolutely, who would not take that opportunity? But obviously, we don't have those magic powers, but we do have the tools here at HSN through the HGTV Home Partnership that can help you achieve and get the job done quicker and easier.
And so many people are going green. So many people are really creating their own garden vegetables in their home.
I love that.
So it might be something that you're really into, or your family, maybe you want to grow your own organic garden.
Yeah.
This is going to be so perfect for you to be able to have. Enjoy it. This really is a star product. We were very delighted to bring this to you. As I mentioned, you can read the reviews for yourself, but you want to buy it today because of the special FlexPay option that we're featuring for you. That's for today and today only. Martin, it was nice to have you here.
It was my pleasure working with you. I love watching you, and it was an honor to be here with you.
It was my pleasure as well. Please stay on the phone lines. We have more great things that we're going to be featuring for you on the other side.